Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we are going to talk about what minimum viable SEO is. So we know what the MVP is, right? That's the minimum viable product. So minimum viable SEO is kind of just the basics of what you need to win with SEO. So Neil, you want to go first?
The basic thing is you need to make sure your URL structure is right. It's really hard to fix later on. You don't want to have a ton of 301 redirects. So make sure you fix your URLs. And what I mean by that is clean, simple URLs, no extraneous characters, not too many subfolders, no dates in them. It should ideally be words over numbers, and you should be using dashes instead of underscores.
Yeah, and also you have to think about your titles too. Titles, that's the first thing they see when they look at a search result, and also your meta descriptions too, right? The meta description, even though it's not a direct SEO correlation, it does help with your click-through rate, so it's kind of is like an indirect correlation. So you have your title, direct correlation, and then you have your meta description. Get those right. Get those right across the board. Even if you have a really big site, you want to make sure that you give your devs the right template to roll out across the site. That way you get that part taken care of, and you can move on to the more important things.
With SEO, make sure that whenever you're starting off, you have clean code. So I see a lot of people when they're starting off the website, like, oh, we're not going to make it SEO friendly. And that's okay. But if your code is messy and then you got to fix that later on, it's a pain in the butt. And the easiest way to keep simple, clean code is by using a CMS, because with CMS, you can just start adjusting everything at once versus having to go back in manually and adjust things one by one.
Yeah, and then the tool of choice or the plugin that Neil and I always recommend is the Yoast SEO plugin. I mean, this actually ties into my next point, having breadcrumbs on your site. So Yoast can include breadcrumbs. I mean, there are other plugins that can do that as well if you're using. So I'm talking about this in the context of WordPress. So no matter what, make sure that you have some breadcrumbs in there. Ideally, like if you have blog posts, you have internal links as well, linking to related posts, because that's the same thing as the e-commerce site too. You want to have internal links that help spiders get across your site, see other pages, crawl stuff, so then you can get more organic traffic over time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the basic SEO stuff. One last thing for me is use unique title and description tags on meta tags, right, on every single page, because if they're duplicate, they won't do as well. Don't worry about having them keyword optimized. You can always fix that later on.
Yep. And the final thing, and this is a bit more controversial. So, there are some star SEOs that have talked about this in the past, but when you have your blog on your subdomain, you are subject to losing around 5 to 10% of traffic. I've seen this happen in the past. But here's the thing. Like, I remember a long time ago when I was at Treehouse, our site was built on Rails, and, the blog was built was hosted by WP Engine, and, obviously it's a PHP thing, right? So, whenever we tried to put it on a subdomain, the site would just crash and the blog would crash, and we'd have to keep resetting it. So it became a pain in the butt. So, our devs had to deprioritize it, and then overall, we had to put the blog on the subdomain. But if you can, take it off the subdomain. There are some case studies out there, especially on Moz, that you can read about. I've certainly seen the same thing. Before we go, we have a 90-day free trial of Crazy Egg to give away. And if you want to get in, just go to singlegrain.com/giveaway. By the way, no credit card at all. It's worth up to $3,000, so it should be a no-brainer. And with that being said, we'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.